It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for Power Bombed in the Pit. We're two tag team partners who love loud music, comedy, art, but most of all, we love the people who do all those things and love pro wrestling. Alright, so I guess I'll fucking shoot off the intro. So today we have Stavros Giannopoulos from
Giannopoulos? Is that what it is?
There you go. That's I think I fucked up phonetic spelling.
She has an English degree, so she
that doesn't mean anything.
English is actually no good with Greek, for a record, at least as far as my father could tell you. That's for sure.
Well, we have you say it.
Stavros Giannopoulos
from Sludge Psychonauts, the Atlas Moth, and fucking Noise Rock Grind Destroyers, Motherless, who just have a new album that came out last week or early. Well, yeah, last week.
Last week, yes.
Sorry. He was also an amazing artist.
Thank you.
All this shit. So, how are you doing today, man?
How are you, man? I'm good.
Fucking good. We're getting to talk to you, so we're stoked about this because, man, you're like one of the first dudes that I met that was into metal bands that was like super into wrestling. So
yeah, man, I'm really only like three things in life, and wrestling is one of them. So here I am. Yeah. I'm pretty much like I'm like the go-to nerd metal guy when it comes to anything. It's like, oh, you like insert niche fucking nerd thing? You're in a metal band. It's like better interview Stavros. You know, it's like, oh, I really want to talk about Marvel comic books. Like, oh, well, I got a guy for you. You know,
dude, that's how we connected, man. Like, we just hit, like, we all nerd out on the same shit. And I was like, cool, this guy's awesome. And then,
like, horror comic books, pro wrestling, that's about it. You know, it's like,
horror movies, Same here. She actually has a horror movie podcast that I've not been on yet.
You have.
But, she has all the fucked up books. Like I search all the crazy ass horror movies and
I get deep into that too. It's actually kind of funny though because my girlfriend I've been with now for like going on 2 years doesn't really. She's like a horror movie fan, but she refuses to watch movies.
Really?
Like, her ADHD is just too much for her. So like, I keep telling her that she should get like a tattoo of a pause button. Everything she watches, like all she does is pause. It drives me fucking nutty. You know, right now she's like deep into ER. She's trying to watch all of ER, right? And like we'll sit there and like 1 hour long episode, which is like only like 38 minutes without commercials, takes us like 2 hours to watch. Drives me fucking insane.
But dude, she is you when it comes to us, because I'm like on IMDb like looking up shit or be like, hey, do you know this person's in this? And like, you know,
I'm like just trying to fucking like listen to the dialogue and trying to understand.
Right?
Noah Wiley, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm like, this person. I'm like, dude, I'm watching the same movie as you, motherfucker. I don't fucking know what's gonna happen. What the fuck? And then like it's kind of funny because when I met her, she's like, oh, I love horror movies. And she's creepy. She's like, she's in our music video. She's like the goth.
Yeah.
With the fucking death hawk, right? Like she's goth. She's like legit goth, not like one of these false goth girls. It's like she like is obsessed with the 80s. She has like a David Lynch tattoo, the whole 9 yards. She's goth as fuck. But like I put on, what did I put on? In a Violent Nature.
Ooh, so good, so good.
On, dude. And that hook death.
Yeah.
Happened. She was like, enough. And she walked out of the room. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you like horror movies?
Have you ever watched a horror movie before?
Right?
That she loves like Return of the Living Dead. And she likes cheesy horror. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I get it. We went and saw Weapons and she loved it. She loved like Long Legs. She likes like the cheeseball weirdo horror shit. But like when it comes to like super gory violent stuff, like that's more my thing, you know. I celebrate horror as a genre. It can be Leprechaun or it can be Martyrs. You know what I mean? I'm fucking in. You know what I mean? Like I'll watch all of it. You know what I mean? I just watched the new I Know What You Did Last Summer twice because I felt because it was so bad. So I was like, well, I gotta finish. I didn't see Jennifer Love Hewitt, so I gotta keep her. You know, like I gotta fucking like relive my fucking youth of falling in love with her.
Dude, how awesome is it that like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar are like still together? Like after all these.
I think it's sweet, right?
It is.
Yeah, it is super sweet. And you know, Freddie, he's a wrestling nerd. He wrote for WWE for a while. Like,
he did. And you know what? Like, he had a pretty tragic kind of like life in general, you know, and like, I think it's kind of like maybe one of Hollywood's good guys, maybe. Yeah. I'm coming from a guy that, like, you know, fucking kill an industry plant is over here, you know, like I don't support any millionaires, you know, like death to the 1%. But I think that like, as much as I think that I've never been a Sarah Michelle Gellar fan myself, but I do think that I think it's kind of cute that they're still together. I also thought it was kind of like, I thought that movie was a piece of shit, the new one, but I do think it was at least like they tried to get clever with it. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it yet. But that's you're not spoiling anything, so
that's the key word right there. That's a real horror fan. Well, I'm gonna fucking watch it.
We're gonna watch it.
We're good.
If we attempted Blood and Honey,
we watched the Winnie the Pooh. Like,
if I watch those stupid fucking Winnie the Pooh movies, both of them, I'm gonna watch fucking I Never Did Last Summer 9 or whatever, you know.
Dude, did you see the videos of Art the Clown killing Rhea Ripley?
Dude, you know, so like, no, I didn't. Okay, because of this, I refuse to fucking deal with Ice Nine kills. That
no shit. You just hurt her feelings.
No, you did not. You didn't hurt my feelings. Everybody has their own opinions. I don't like a lot of their stuff. I like a handful of their things.
I think that band
not
is just
like a diehard fan or anything like that.
That band should be like my dream band. Right? You know what I mean? Like they
should sound like Mortician.
Yes. If they sounded like Mortician, they'd be like my favorite band of all time, right? You know what I mean? But like they do everything right except for what they do on their records. Like it's so bad. Like I can't. But like the fact that they celebrate horror culture, they do horror cons, they do all that shit. I'm like, I want to support them so bad. But like, God, do I hate their fucking music, man. Like, but I'm also a fucking pretentious asshole, fucking, you know, arts, you know, what do you expect from me, you know?
Nah,
I mean, that's okay.
That's how we roll up in here, man.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the deal. I lived through nu metal. I was there for it.
Same, dude.
Like, I don't need to relive it.
Dude, you put on that first Korn album, and I can sing every fucking lyric, and I'm just be like,
yeah. I saw it before in 1994, like 4 times. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to. I'm good.
I seen him with fucking House of Pain.
Yeah.
I think Biohazard.
Like I saw him with first time I saw Korn was they opened. It was Limp Bizkit opening before they had a record out. Korn and Helmet on Aftertaste. You know what I mean? Like I was like 11. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I just can't. I tried to like that band. I was like, I'm gonna get into this. It's like, nah, it's not gonna work. You know, like I'm good. You know, but hey, you know what? I'm in my older age. I refuse to shit on anything that anybody likes anymore. I'm just like, you know what? I refuse to piss on your parade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
unless you're pushing
because there's all these Gen Z kids like. They have everything we wish we had at our fingertips.
There's definitely a point of jealousy there for sure.
So what?
There's definitely a point of jealousy there for sure on my
end.
Because like, for sure. Dude, like I talk about this all the time. It's like old man shit, but it's like, dude, like I worked at a record store when I was like, dude, like my first job I got the week before I turned 15 because you can't work in Illinois until you're 16.
Yeah.
And I like literally was like, I like would go to this used record store incessantly, like every week I would go there and they would keep being like, are you 16 yet? I'd be like, no. I'm like, all right, you know, and like finally like the month or so before I turned 16 they were like, are you 16 yet? I'm like, in a month. They're like, close enough. And they gave me a job. Like, we need someone now. Don't tell anybody. You're cool, whatever, you know, we're gonna pay you cash for a month and then we're gonna put you on the books. And I worked there simply so I could get fucking CDs and vinyl mostly because it was cheaper as fuck back then because nobody wanted it in the mid-90s. And, you know, like that's the only way I got to hear music because you had to buy everything. You know what I mean? Like, I remember like
his album cover looks awesome. Like, should I
but
buy this?
dude, like you couldn't afford that shit. It was like $25 for a goddamn CD, man. And if you could find it,
we were literally just talking about that last night.
Yeah.
Dude, it was impossible. You know, so like nowadays kids are like, oh, cool. I wonder what this Atlas Moth band sounds like. Let me fucking just go on Spotify and listen for 30 seconds and then trash it and never give them a chance. Fuck them. You know, it's like, yo, fucking eat my ass, kids. You know, like, fuck them kids. Try back in my days. You know, like I had to buy a record with my fucking allowance. And I had to fucking sit there and I had to try to like that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You're just like, oh man, what was the Napalm Death new metal album? Shit.
Napalm Death new metal album?
Just Despair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't Napalm Death. Like, shit, but I have to like this because I spent my allowance on it.
Earth Crisis Slither. That was. I remember being like, well, I guess I need to like this because it's Earth Crisis, and I just spent $18.99 on it at Best Buy, and I have an entire week before I get another $20 for my fucking allowance. You know, it's like fuck me.
Yeah, me and her, we're going to see Integrity, Earth Crisis, and Judge. Like,
for it. There, we just had Integrity.
They're playing at Gilman Street.
Oh, nice! That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be gnarly.
I'm booking this fest. I'm working on it with my my booking partner Nick. He's been booking for like 5 or 6 years, but I just got on it. And Integrity played last year. It was pretty killer. I'm working on this big ass lineup. I can't tell you anything about it right now, though. So
okay, whoa.
Oh, what? That was a part of the deal.
Sorry, yeah.
You can talk about it offline if you can.
Yeah. There's like the whole thing about like it's been a whole afternoon for me with that. So there's that. So.
Oh man.
Okay, well, shit, dude. We haven't even started the fucking podcast.
What do you mean? We've been rolling this whole fucking time.
Well, I know.
I know.
I've already hated on a band, and I've talked about being old. So there you go.
We both have. Also, Smashing Pumpkins. We'll just
hey, hometown shit right there. All right, I love them.
I just trying to get a rise out of you, dude.
You're not gonna get a rise out of me.
So I'm here poking me. Get it?
Poking the bear over here. So fuck, man. All right, so I'm gonna start all over again with
No, don't start all over.
Don't start over. This is good.
All right, well, fuck it, man. Let's do it live.
We are doing it live.
Yeah, we are doing it live. It's part of the fun.
So since you I kind of first like saw some of your art like a bit ago. What actually like got you into art? You mentioned horror. Has horror been an influence in terms of your art?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like when I was a kid, like literally I told Melissa like pretty much everything that I am into today started when I was as far back as I can remember. Like I have been into, when I was a little kid, the only things I cared about were wrestling, like Universal horror films, and like Freddy Krueger and 80s slashers. Because my parents didn't give a fuck because I was an 80s kid, you know.
Exactly.
And comic books. That's all I give a fuck about. That's all I did. All I like literally like a few weeks ago, I found a like a report with a drawing that was like my hero from kindergarten, and it was Boris Karloff.
Fuck
dude,
yes.
Dude,
this is literally who I am. Like I am unabashedly who I am. So like when I was a kid though, like I like just was obsessed with Marvel comics and DC to an extent, but DC was a little bit more adult orientated, I thought. But I gravitated towards like the Jack Kirby and John Romita art a lot, you know. So I remember like, you know, as a kid, like my mom introduced me to tracing paper.
Fuck
yeah.
I was like, well, I'm gonna be the best artist ever.
Yeah.
Trace all this great art. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been drawing since I was a little kid, and then you know throughout the years I've kind of like dabbled in many arts. Between like I was really into street art kind of before like the Banksy style like stencils for a long time. I used to go to Europe every year. We would go to Greece with my dad, and that was super big over there in the late mid 90s and in the early 2000s. Before it kind of got really popular here, aside from like the graffiti and stuff. But so I got really into that because I would spend like a month in fucking Greece every year. and all the kids there were doing that. So I would go to Greece and I would just like roll around on my fucking skateboard because like I would fucking have one over there and I would just hang around with all these like fucking hoodlums and do street art in Europe all the time. So like, you know, I always did that. And then like I went to college for sound engineering.
Oh, wow.
You know, like my thought was I'm going to get a college degree and obviously I'm going to produce the next Metallica record.
You're going to be like, fuck you, Bob Ross.
Obviously that's how that works. And then I realized that I'm going to have to like record ska bands. And I was like, well, I can't.
Ooh, you're like, nah, that's probably why you don't like, that's probably why you don't really like Ice Nine's music is because they started off as a ska band.
It's probably deep, like in my brain, where I can like notice that. I can like fucking point it out and be like, oh, wait.
Yeah, you're just like, nah.
Yeah, like, there's something wrong here. I don't know what, but there's something. But yeah, no, I literally just found out that like it doesn't work that way and you have to be like a regular guy recording records. And like, I just can't do that with music. With music, it's so like not my thing to just, I can draw a skull for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, you want a fucking, you know, a girl with her tits out and skulls? No problem. Yeah, I'll draw that for you. You know, like, I can do a fucking logo for your fucking family reunion. I don't give a shit. You know, like, I'll draw it. But like, I literally can't sit there and put like effort and care into producing music if I don't like it. You know what I mean? It's just not my thing. I can't take that shit. So like, I found that out pretty early on. Also, I had failed physics 3 times in a row in high school. And I had barely graduated high school because I couldn't pass fucking physics. And then I went to goddamn college and was going to be a sound engineer. And they were like, you're basically a physics major. And I'm like, huh?
What do you mean I'm basically a physics major?
I was like, are you fucking joking me? Like, what do you mean sound is physics? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was just a stoner kid who just wanted to fucking play.
I mean, but it does. It worked out.
Yeah, I mean, it totally checks out. You know what I mean? I didn't think about it. So, like, I literally, like, spent my first semester in art school being like, I have made a grave mistake. And then...
Damn.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what I should pivot to? Graphic design. So I did that. And, yeah. So that was my art journey, you know? And now I'm just basically kind of, you know, do it as it comes, you know? I'm always I'm somehow or another, I guess it's because, like, it's actually kind of funny because I've been learning a lot of video stuff lately, for like promo and stuff like that. I've just like kind of been teaching myself. Like, literally the other day, Andrew from the Atlas Moth was like, "Well, I've never met a guy that is like when he doesn't have the money to do something, he just figures out how to do it himself." You know, that's what I do. You know, it's like I didn't know how to. Someone was like, our label was like, "Yeah, we could use like a lyric video," and I'm like, I got it, and you're not going to give me any money for it, so I guess I'll learn how to make one. You know, so here I am.
As well.
I now have made 8 or 9 lyric videos in the last month. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of like that dude, you know? So like, I've always been kind of putting that like, oh, well, you know how to use Photoshop, you know? I guess you're doing the layouts. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, all right.
Dude, like we were talking about last night, like, you know, you're one of the most DIY dudes that I know. You're just like, I'll make this shit happen one way or another.
The funny thing about it is that I have at this point of being in music, as long as I have been, at the level I have been, I have like a fucking like, you know, Rolodex of fucking talented artists at my fucking disposal. But the fact of the matter is, though, is that like I'm like, I'll just do it myself.
Exactly.
And I like using other people too because I don't want everything to look the same either, you know. But so I do like farm shit out, but a lot of times it's like, oh shit, you know, it'd be cool if we had this like now, and it's like, okay. You know,
like all the Motherless shirts that y'all have out right now, and it's
those
like,
are all just me being like, I'm just gonna make it happen. You know what I mean?
Like, it touches 90s Chris in his heart on so many levels. Like
it's like the whole idea too, right? It's like I'm trying to go for that aesthetic of the 90s, you know. And the other funny thing is too is that you know how many times I've like had one of my really talented friends, like I'm like, hey man, I want to do this shirt and I want you to do it. I'm like, yeah, dude, no problem. And then like 6 weeks later, I'm like, hey man, so about that shit, like, oh, you were serious? Or I'm like,
what do you mean?
Like, well, I thought you would just do it. I'm like, okay, well,
fuck it. I'm just gonna do it now.
I guess you're right. I guess I will just fucking do it. You know,
dude, like walking up to your merch booth, like for the first time and seeing the smoke 'em all and the drop acid not bombs, I was just like, Yeah. I'm gonna need one of both of those.
Yeah, I definitely have kind of carved out a little niche. Unfortunately, or fortunately, there's a band in town. They tour. They're a really cool band called Something Is Waiting. They're like a noise rock band.
Yeah, no, Eddie.
Yeah, you know Eddie. Okay, yeah, everyone knows Eddie. Like, I basically have become like, I do all of their artwork, and unfortunately, a lot of it's a lot of parody. So now, unfortunately, people are like, "Oh, you do all the parody stuff," and I'm like, "Well, I do." I'm kind of been pigeonholed a little bit, which is a little bit of a bummer, but you know, it is what it is. When people find out, it's like, yeah, you're like, you know, like all the Atlas Moth covers are all photography, and I'm not a photographer, but I've also directed all those shoots. Yeah, all of my ideas, and I've been like, shoot it like this. I can't shoot it, and I don't want to edit the photo, but shoot it like this, you know. And then I'm the guy that's also taking all those photos and throwing them and making the layouts. So it's like people will find out that I've done that. I'm like, well, I could also, you know, direct a photo shoot for you. You know, like, there's always a possibility.
So, can you explain to her the watercolor changing album like process?
Oh, you just want to know the technical aspect of it was all. That's
so there's like actually a cool story with that. Actually,
sweet.
So, like, I was really swinging for the fences for it, and I was like, who would be the person? Well, this is a perfect example of what I was just talking about. I literally
look at that.
Was like, who the fuck do I want to do my album artwork? It was coming off an Ache for the Distance, which was like the album that put us on the map, and like we had a lot of fucking clout, tons of it. You know what I mean? And I was kind of riding a high, and our label was just kind of like giving me all the money, and I'm like, how do we do this? So I'm like, well, who the fuck do I want to do my album artwork? And I'm like, well, there's only one name. His name is Storm Thurgerson. If you don't know who that name is, he did all the Pink Floyd album covers. He did all the fucking Led Zeppelin album covers. It was like, I'm going to swing for the motherfucking fences because what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm just going to knock it out.
No. Yeah,
right. Or no. Yeah. That's even, you know, if he responds to me, that's cool too. Yeah, you know, like at least I gotta, you know, at least I can be like, hey, thank you, sir, for all the fucking inspiration.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you know anything about this guy, but like he did like say like if you remember that Cranberries cover where the person's running on the beach and there's all those red balls bouncing everywhere. Like it's like popular for the 90s.
We watched the documentary about
you saw that, okay. So he released all those balls dropping on the fucking beach over and over. You know what I mean? Like, incredible art. So I was like, I wonder how you get a hold of Storm Thurgerson. So I went on stormthurgerson.com and I was like, you know, I wonder if Storm at Storm Thurgerson would work.
Oh my God.
Like, you know, and so I was just like storm at stormthurgerson.com. And I sent an email and it goes through and I'm like waiting for it to bounce back. I'm like, well, it hasn't. 2 days later, I get an email back from Storm Thurgerson.
What?
And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, like, and he's like, hey, man, like, I love working with small bands. You know, I obviously charge a lot, but he goes, but I have about 40 years of art, you know, and I have a lot of outtakes, you know, tons, and tons of stuff that wasn't used. He goes, would you be open to using some stuff I never got around to using? And I was like, fuck yeah.
That is the only response to that question.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll change the album title. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You know, any of your artwork, dude. Like, I don't give a shit. So he's like, Stavros sounds good. I'm like, my budget's like $2,000. I think it was like something like that. It was like real, like, which is like a lot actually. I think they gave me $500 for the album before that. You know what I mean? I was like, but I told my label, I'm like, I got Storm Thurgerson, motherfuckers, give me money, you know? And they were all like, hell yeah, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, I don't know how I did either. So like, I was like, yeah, dude, like I can give you like $2,000. He goes, yeah, that's great as long as you're willing. I'm like, I need 3 images, you know, because at this point they were like really cutting back on designs, and I'm like, listen, if I can get Storm for like $2,000, $2,500. My label's like, yeah, no problem. Just let's do a digipack. We're just gonna do a front, an inside, and a back. I'm like, done. I don't give a fuck. Whatever he comes up with is gonna be awesome. So he's like, let me go through all this shit, and I'll get back to you in a couple weeks. I'm like, cool, Storm. I am going on tour in Europe. You know, maybe I can meet up with you. I'm in London. Yada yada yada. It was great, Stavros. Let me know when you're in London. I don't think he was ever even anywhere near there. He was also really sick at the time.
Oh, shit.
So I go on tour in Europe. Fucking dies.
Oh no.
And I'm on tour and I'm just like, no. You know, like not only did I lose like a hero, but like I mean, I was like literally chatting with this guy, like kind of struck up a friendship.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh man, like this can't be good. So like a couple weeks go by, we finish the tour. I come up from the tour and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So I just email the email again. I'm like, hey, I'm assuming someone's checking this, yada yada yada. Could you please just like go back and look through this? We were in the middle of working out a deal, and his son got back to me, and his son was like, yeah, you know, my father was very generous, yada yada yada. I'm not really sure what to do about this. I don't know if we can really do anything. I don't know about his stuff, you know. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have to pivot. So going on about that, I'm like, well, I watched that Taken by Storm documentary. I was obsessed with it. And there's a part in there where Robert Plant talks about how everyone was giving him, I think it was Into the Outdoor. That's the sepia cover where the guy's sitting at the bar, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like the family.
Yeah, they're sitting at the bar, aren't they? Right?
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about presents. Never mind.
Yeah. No. Into the Outdoor, they're sitting at the bar, and it's a sepia tone album cover. And he's and Robert Plant in this documentary talks about how people would come up to him and ask him to sign it, and what he would do, he would spit on it, and people would be like horrified, and then he would wipe it, and the image would become colored once you got the album cover wet. And I was like, how do we do that? You know, so I went to my record label and I was like, all right, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, if I can't have Storm Thurgerson do it, I'm going to pull off some Storm Thurgerson shit. So
yes.
I actually went to the dudes at Invisible Creatures who were in Demon Hunter or are in Demon Hunter. One of them is in Demon Hunter. They both were in Demon Hunter. Ryan and Don, and Ryan.
Yeah, I lived in Arkansas for a while, so I know those dudes.
Yeah. So Ryan did the artwork because I was just like, I want you to do it, man, because I want it to be fucking insane. You know, like let's just. I got the label to give me the money. So let's go. You know what I mean? Like, and I also have like loved his artwork forever. So I like went to the pressing plan. I'm like, what can we do to get the sepia to color artwork? And the guy was like, I have that, but I also have this. And he sent me this stock that was a Bacardi ad. And it was a Bacardi ad that was all white with just like a glass on it. And when you got it wet, it showed a full ad. And then when it dried, it went back to all white. And I was like, oh, one right fucking there. You know? Basically, I hired this model, Daria, who I'm still friends with. She lives in the city. She's an old friend of ours. And I hired this guy, Hank Pearl, to do the photography. And I bought the neon light I had made by this guy Steve. He's in a band called Of Wolves here in the South.
Yeah, I know.
You know Wolves. I talked to Ryan from Demon Hunter, and I was like, "What do you need me to do?" You know, and I sat there and we sat Daria down in that white dress on a fucking dude. Like I think that she was just in a regular chair. I'm pretty positive she held her hands out, like faking it, like she was in a throne. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Right there.
It's been like 11 years and a lot of drugs later, but I'm pretty sure it was like a steel chair that you could hit somebody with. And and she was just sitting there, and we shot it, and I gave it to Ryan. I was like, "Here's the stock we're using. Do your thing," and he did that, and it came out fucking great. But yeah, that's the thing. People don't know it. If you get the CD cover, there's like a separate sleeve or separate like insert that if you get it wet, it changes colors and it goes back. It dries and it goes back to white. So
that's rad.
Pretty cool.
I bought both copies from you from that night in Birmingham. So.
People don't want to get it wet. They're all afraid of it. I'm like, no, it dries. It's fine.
Like, it's okay. Why would we give you something that's just going to get ruined? You know?
Was there like a special? Was there like a special kind of lacquer or anything that they put?
Just stock.
Just stock. Okay.
Modern magic. I have no fucking idea how it works, you know. Okay. But the story's the real magic, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's amazing, dude. That's excellent. So tell us how you first got into music, like.
Well, so like this is like kind of this goes with the wrestling scenario here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have an older brother and older sister. My older brother is 13 years older than me. My older sister is 11 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
And they both were kind of at odds in high school. Mm-hmm. And
makes sense.
They basically fought over me. Because I was the baby. So, like, my sister was really into music. My brother was really into pro wrestling. So, right? You know, so
there we go.
I remember back to being like 5, and my sister bought me Injustice for All on cassette because she was like trying to poison my mind.
Best older sister ever.
Yeah. And then she took me. She had an extra ticket to go see Metallica on the Justice tour.
Damn. That's
and your parents were just like, "Oh yeah, you can take this small child to go see Metallica."
They weren't stoked on it.
No, well, you were going no matter what.
Yeah, my parents were very cool about me experiencing. I grew up ill, right? They didn't know I was gonna be alive, so they were like, "Yeah, he should experience everything. Fuck it, let him go." So, and then I tricked them all, and I'm still alive. I outlived them. So,
dude,
you know, like dark humor there, but yes.
I mean, I know the story of like everything that happened, and you know, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so I've been pretty much into metal like since the beginning, man. It's always been a thing. Like one of my other early things is my grandmother. Both my parents worked. My grandmother took me to Woolsworth here.
Yeah, I know Woolsworth is.
Woolsworth, old school.
My mom's from Chicago, so I used to spend like a couple of weeks out of every summer up there. So yeah.
Yeah, Woolsworth is a shithole old drugstore, basically Walgreens, if you will. And they used to sell these like kind of like, I don't know, like low budget like VHS. And they had, I can like fucking, I can see them online. Right? I'm thinking about buying them. But they were like these like compilation videos of old wrestling, and they would always was like pre-WWF, like Andre the Giant,
like territory stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of it was AWA. And the one that I remember from one I saw, and I was like, I must have this because it was the Road Warriors. And I remember getting that, and I remember fucking putting it into the VHS and being like, these guys rule. And you know, they used to come out to Iron Man in AWA. And I remember being like, what is this sound? Like the coolest thing I've ever fucking heard. What is this song? You know, I remember my sister being like, it's fucking Black Sabbath, loser. You know, it's like,
oh, whoa. My bad.
I would like to know more about this Black Sabbath you speak of. Yeah, that was a big, and that was like, you know, that's the thing. It's like, wait, this is 1 and 1, you know, like heavy metal and, you know, pro wrestling. And then, you know, Ozzy at WrestleMania 2, which I was at as a small child. But that's in my brain, you know, like I was at Chicago for that, and I was only like 3, but like I was there, and I was like, you know, it still sticks in my mind. I had the VHS growing up, so like I would watch that incessantly, and I'd be like,
you're just like, that's me. I'm that tiny little dot over there.
Yeah, I tried to fucking figure that out. Like, where do we sit, Mom? Tell me, you know, like in my mind, it was always like Ozzy Osbourne, fucking pro wrestling, you know, like he was, you know, obviously heavy metal and rock and wrestling go together.
Yeah,
you know, Black Sabbath, Road Warriors,
WrestleMania 3 when Alice Cooper came out.
Yeah, Alice Cooper. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a weird tie to it. You know, rockin' to me, like
rock and wrestling connection.
I grew up with like a VHS recording of all the rock and wrestling, so like that shit was ingrained in my brain. Like I was a kid of the MTV era, dude. You know, so it's like rock and roll and wrestling always went together. You know, it was like a fucking very much a thing in my brain. So, you know, yeah. So it's basically, like I said, it's been my entire life.
Yeah, same here, man. Like she just got into wrestling a couple of years ago, but she's always been a huge music fan, and yeah, like she's starting to see the Charlie board is like, oh, well, this person's in this band, but they're also a wrestler, and
yeah, no, and now it's like I wish there was a little bit more of an underground back and forth, you know what I mean? Like, or I wish metal was a little bit more cool in the mainstream as opposed to like, you know, whatever, something baby metal or who do they have? Like, Poppy or whatever her name is.
Poppy.
Any of the people that pretty much WWE have on their pay-per-views or whatever. Like, I mean, I can respect them to a certain extent, but like, I want Pig Destroyer to come out and like a top hand death match and just like
light tubes.
Like what happened to fucking Motorhead? You know what I mean? Well, you know,
I mean, we know what happened.
You know, but you know what I mean? Like, what happened to fucking that kind of a band being involved? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, dude? You know? Triple H used to, you know, he had it right. You know what I mean?
So, who would you say, like, if you had to pick your top 5 favorite artists are?
So, like, this is such a hard thing to do
It really is.
It's impossible. But like, if I had to pick, like, there's no way I don't say Metallica.
Yeah.
Like, well, how about this? Like, there's no way for me to sound cool right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say like all these cool underground bands that everyone's gonna be like, this guy's got cred. I have cred. Fuck you. All right. Like, so,
you don't have to prove anything.
I got nothing to prove to anybody. But
Hell
like,
no.
the music that I wouldn't be here without would be Metallica, Nick Cave,
No.
the Deftones,
Yeah,
Pink Floyd,
mm-hmm.
and Dr. Dre. Like, pretty much all,
dude.
pretty much all of my vocals are written as a rapper, and no one ever understands that. But all of my vocal patterns are based off of a kick in the snare, and I fucking sit there and I listen to so much metal, and I'm like, wow, these guys have no rhythm. You know, all of everything I love is like basically all the music I mostly listen to is soul and R&B. So like, I love like Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Lee Moses is one of my favorite. All that shit. Like, I love Sly and the Family Stone, and all those dudes are all kick and snare, and it's all on a beat, and it's all like, you know. And I listen to so many metal dudes, and it's like, you guys are just yelling, and like literally just yelling. Like, you guys have no style. There's like no rhythm, and it's so annoying to me. And it's like, you're just like, I feel like you're just not trying, or you're following the guitar. And I think that's so cheeseball. And like, there's a place and a time for that, and I do that sometimes. I'm not trying to say that I don't ever do that, because sometimes it fits the song. But like, try something different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So like, I try to do a lot of R&B and hip hop stuff, because like no one does that shit. So
no, I could definitely tell that. Like, when I heard the first song, the first single off the album that y'all released, I was just like, I'm in. Like, that's kind of got like a hip hop feel to it, like your vocals. I was like,
I can't help it, man. When I hear a kick and a snare, I'm like, well, that's where my vocals go, you know. And it's like, I don't understand why more people don't hear it like that. It's like, to me, it's the most obvious thing in the world, you know. But so many people are just like, I'm just gonna follow the guitar line. It's like, what's the fucking point of that, you know? Like, I don't know. So yeah, hip hop, R&B, soul, all that funk. I just went and saw Budo's band the other day, which is an instrumental band, by the way, but like, it's like
dude, so good. Dude, have you watched Alien Earth?
Yes. There's a new episode tonight, right?
Yeah.
So when they dropped Maggot Brain in the middle of that episode,
amazing,
bro. Like, I was just like, this is the best fucking shit ever. Like,
every time they
would have told me, like, when I was watching Aliens at like 5 years old, that I'd get to hear Parliament Funkadelic.
Dude, it's so fucking good. I was like, that show is incredible. I'm fucking so. Between that and Peacemaker, I'm like totally fucking.
Dude, that's our shit. Too. That Twisted Metal and Poker Face. That's just
the name of the cup.
I haven't watched all of Poker Face. I probably should get back into that. I started it, but I haven't fucked back with it. I gotta get more into it. I'm like just so fucking overwhelmed right now with so much media and trying to keep up with like my own life in general, and like trying to survive like monetarily, you know. It's like, I only have so much time, you know. So like, everything. I used to be a guy that'd be like, oh yeah, I watched 8 movies tonight. Let me tell you about them. You know, and now I'm just like, I watched 2 movies this week. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to like really take time into what I watch. You know what I mean?
I mean, it kind of goes back to, you know, now we have too much just media.
Too many options.
It's like, fuck.
Option paralysis is a real thing.
Exactly.
Why couldn't this happen in the 80s when our parents are just like sitting for the TV?
I know, right? Like, instead of me like wearing out multiple copies of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Would not change it for the world, by the way. It's the greatest film of all time. But, you know, like, I'm sitting here thinking about it. It's like, I also like, I was in a relationship for 12 years that was like very, very fucking boring. So like, I wound up like watching a lot of films, so many films over and over. You know what I mean? So now I'm in like 2 bands. I was, Atlas Moth wasn't active. Now that band's active, and I'm fucking in a new band that's like very active as well. I mean, and then I have a very fresh relationship. I've moved. I'm not living with a girl, so I have to travel to see her. 20 minutes down the street. It is what it is. I got, I have a dog that deserves my attention. Like, so things are a little bit different. You know what I mean? I've been like I used to be like a giant, just like sit around and stare at a TV for a few years there, and now I'm kind of changing my lifestyle a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, awesome. Well, at least you've seen Alien Earth. That shit is fucking rad.
Well, I mean, I have priorities. There's that. Yeah.
What would you say like your top 5 horror movies are?
I guess since we're on a horror trajectory over here.
Oh, God damn it!
Like for me, favorites are very, very hard, and it's very difficult to really kind of choose. Even tops. If somebody's like your top 10 things, I'm like, don't do that to me. Can I just tell you?
I hate the top things, but because it's also like I could break down the horror genre. Like, what are we talking about?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And also
like, French horror, Japanese horror, like,
yeah, exactly. And like then I'm like,
talking body horror, we talking grotesque, or we talking like just kind of
the year,
flash,
You know what I mean? I don't even know, but like I'll tell you this right now, like I think Weapons is my favorite of the year.
Fuck yeah.
I think in Exorcist obviously has got to be on there. I think Rosemary's Baby's got to be on there. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original's got to be on there.
Absolutely.
God, those ones always come to mind. Those are like my go-tos, right? You can't really go wrong with them.
Just give us a curveball for the last one.
How about one that surprised you? A horror thing
that surprised me.
Maybe for the last one.
Oh, dude, I know there's. I mentioned this already. A Violent Nature blew my mind.
It's so good. I was surprised by that. I thought it was a very fresh take on a slasher / invocation, film. Like I thought it was really well done. Camera angles were lovely. The suspense, the music throughout, like gave it that extra push.
The music was awesome in it. I loved the fucking. The monster or whatever he was really fresh. I thought Weapons, also the earth magic in it.
Okay,
we haven't seen that.
No spoilers, but from what I've heard,
to talk about Weapons, but I won't. I will.
Literally everybody. My brother-in-law was even like, "You guys need to go watch Weapons. Just go watch Weapons." I'm like, "But we got other shit that we got to get done." So it's definitely on my priority list of things to watch.
Cancel everything. It's fine. Just call it a day on everything else. Go see Weapons.
Right. Okay. All right.
It's phenomenal. It's also streaming. Like, fucking cancel your plans tonight. Like this interview is nearly as important as going to watch Weapons. Weapons is so. I'm actually like I have like my Plex open right now, and I can see right now Planet Terror's on there. I absolutely love Planet Terror.
Dude, same. Like Rose McGowan with a machine gun leg. How can you not love that?
Rose McGowan is like my forever. I love her. So.
Dude, so
I wouldn't realize she's a bad actor, but that's me.
No, sorry, I mean.
I've kind of come to realize that Rose McGowan's a terrible actor, but I still love her. But,
yeah, same. So in Death Proof, the bar that they hang out in at the beginning of the movie with stunt driver Mike, whatever. This is place in Austin called Texas Chili Parlor. And I'm like, every time I go there, I'm just like, wow.
Nacho Grande platter?
Yeah. Kurt Russell sat here? That's cool.
How did I not say The Thing? See what I'm saying? Like, there's no way of not. I'm fucking this up already.
No.
Oh,
you're all good.
No, not even anywhere close.
I threw that one on you out of nowhere. So
yeah, that's a curveball.
That was a curve. But you mentioned being in two bands and Motherless just dropped their album. What influences went into this Motherless record that might have been different from any other records that you've put out?
So like the big deal with this record to me was so like Atlas Moth Records, I've always been a lot of thought and a lot of like, it's like, that's the progressive band. That's like the art band. That's like the thinking man's band. Or if you want to say some shit like that. It's like I always said that like Atlas, or not I haven't said it because I never say anything like this because stupid. People have always been like, oh, Atlas Moth is the metal band for people that don't like metal. or something like that. Or like it's like the
Okay.
I hate even saying this because it's ignorant, but people have told me it's better than metal kind of thing or whatever, which I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because metal's good. But Motherless to me, I literally said this going into it. And I was like, I'm Lemmy, and this is Atlas Moth is Hawkwind, and this is Motorhead.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
That's my dichotomy there, you know, and honestly, since this happened today, you know, rest in peace Thomas Lindbergh, because one of my biggest influences for this record was Dysphere. That was literally one of my things. I'm like, I want to start a band like Dysphere. I want to be in a D-beat band, which you know, once again, you get some of that, but you can also get some of your own stuff because you can't just copy something. Because
you can't not, you know.
My brain works in it, you know. But that was one of my biggest things. It was like I want this to be my Motorhead. I want it to be like fast, aggressive, everything. It's like Atlas Moth has tried to write fast stuff. It doesn't jive with our vibe. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like we're like a. Someone once said like, turn the lights off and light a candle and listen to this record, and it's so fucking cheesy to hear.
Dude, Motherless is like do some meth and punch somebody in the face music.
Exactly. Yeah, like get into a fist fight. You know, you know what I mean? That's kind of like I think those are like my two things. Like I'm an arty guy and I like artistic things that make you think, and I'm also like a dude that likes to fucking shotgun beer and fucking headbang. You know what I mean? Those are like my two modes, man. You know, so like I feel like the Atlas Moth is only, you know, like working with one mode. So Motherless is my other side of me, you know, like I'm a two-sided coin, you know. So like, and it's kind of nice because like now I feel like I can get both of those sides out of me. I don't feel like I'm like, you know, holding back one side or I'm like kind of restricted, and I can like express both of those in different ways. You know, like Atlas Moth is my beautiful side and Motherless is my nasty, ugly side. You know, so yeah, but like Dysphere, Motorhead, Discharge, all the like grimy, nasty shit. That's the Motherless side.
It's a perfect soundtrack for all the bullshit that's going on in the world right now. So
that's the other thing too. And I think the world needs some anger right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck some Ariana Grande or whatever, Sabrina Carpenter. So Chappelle Brown gets a pass. That girl good.
Yes, you know what I mean? That's like that's the other thing too, is that like my humor in the Atlas Moth like shouldn't really. I'd like to think I'm a pretty funny guy, and like I don't like to with the Atlas Moth. It's very much like this is a serious thing. With Motherless, I like being a little bit tongue in cheek. You know, like we're naming songs "Reptile Dysfunction,"
which is such a fucking awesome song title. It was like, hell yeah, let's listen to this thing.
You know, or like for a while there, I was like, I'm gonna name every song like it's a Morrissey song. You know? So it's like, darling, you don't look well, and you seem so damn sure. Like those were supposed to be like Smith titles. You know what I mean? Like that was like a joke.
Or you ignore me, the fist did you get?
Exactly. You know, like that was like what I was going for. It was like, let's write a fucking punky metal album that's fucking named like Morrissey songs. You know, like I couldn't do that in the Atlas Moth because at the end of the day, I'd be like, no, let's be serious a little bit. Yeah. But with this band, like, no, let's have some fucking fun. You know, and oddly enough, it's a very serious record. It's really angry, but it has that tongue in cheek fucking humor that I have, and I think people have come to like me for. So
yeah. Of course, man. That's one of the things fucking when I first met you, I was just like, this dude's funny as fuck.
So like, yeah,
I want to be friends with him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people connected to me because I'm a fucking joker. You know what I mean? So like, there's part of that, and it comes across in the t-shirts. You know, like throwing a picture of Nas and Corrado Soprano on a t-shirt is fucking ridiculous.
Dude, it's so good.
You know what I mean? So like, I couldn't do that in the Atlas Moth. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make any sense, and no one would buy that shit. So like, fucking hero.
It's just Slayer logos made of joints and Metallica logos of
and that the little weed humor works, but like, you know, a lot of times with Atlas Moth, people are like coming up to me and like, and I find this to be like totally endearing, and I find it to be like a heavy burden, but it's nice that I can give back to people. But I've had a lot of people come up to you with Atlas Moth and be like, hey, you know, your record got me through a really hard time, or like I've had people, you know, that are like end stage cancer be like, hey, your music meant a lot to me, you know, and it's like, wow, it's heavy, but music has saved my life many, many, many times over. You know what I mean? So it's nice that I have that outlet and my shit's not all just a joke. You know, and not to say that Motherless is a joke, because it's also was a very hard time in my life, and it's a fucking, it's you know, I mean, that entire record is a fucking me puking out a bunch of fucking really fucking vile shit that like I'm just me getting over some hard times, you know. But it's also me being like, let's have some fun while I do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
can't take everything too seriously. But so, like I said, it's like nice to have the two worlds. You know what I mean? I take it,
Yeah.
I take everything very seriously, but I want people to know that I'm not just fucking around. You know?
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like Lemmy says, like, if you can't fucking laugh at yourself, you might as well commit suicide.
Yeah,
Like,
man. You know, I mean, like, dude, I don't take this too seriously. I'm a 42-year-old guy in metal bands.
no, I'm a 45-year-old guy. If you hit a 42-year-old guy
In a metal band.
Talking about wrestling and metal and fucking horror movies, you know, like how serious are we supposed to be? You know, like, shit, I'm here to have a good time. Not for a while.
Absolutely. Not a long time, just a good time.
Just a good time, you know. Who wants to live forever? You know? Like,
Right. We'll just live on. It's all right. You know, didn't Celine Dion say that at some point?
No, that was Freddie Mercury.
My heart will go on when she did the Titanic.
Who wants to live forever?
No, and then I went into Celine Dion.
Didn't Lemmy say who wants to live forever?
Celine Dion and a hologram Freddie Mercury doing a duet of that song.
Just, you know, listen, if Deadpool could bring her back to do something cool, I think we can definitely put her and Freddie Mercury on a goddamn hologram trading card and bring it back. I'm just putting it out there.
It's a 1 of 1 right there. I'll get it graded.
There we go. Fuck yes.
2 Michael Jordan rookies that I've been eating my entire life, and I'm just like, they're just going to charge me through the nose for it.
Dude,
and then they're going to come back like a 6. I'm going to hang myself. You know what I mean? Because I know they're not 10s.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, know what I have.
I had one when I was a kid too. Like, and they were like $350 a piece. You know, and I'm like, I'm going to buy these, Mom. And my mom was like, "You're so stupid." I'm like, I'm going to show you. And
show you, Mom.
Not a face. Well, but okay, so you mentioned wrestling, we mentioned music and everything like that. I am particularly curious in regards to the fucking most insane, because Chris has mentioned you've been to a lot of wrestling events. I kind of want to know what the craziest thing that you have seen, both either by a wrestler or in the crowd.
Well, so like I meant to mention, so yes, I did mention this, and I wanted to. So oddly enough, I've been to a lot of wrestling. Like I said, my entire life, I was at rock and wrestling house shows back in the day. My brother, to this day, will still bitch at me for making him leave one early before Hogan wrestled.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have a memory of him wrestling, and I don't know. I think he's bullshitting, but anyway. I remember my first pay-per-view was like Survivor Series 88.
Okay.
Nice.
I went to the Chi-Town Rumble with Steamboat and Flair.
Oh,
I
fuck.
was at WrestleMania 2, 6 in Toronto.
Damn.
Because I have Greek family up there. I talked my parents into taking me after I swindled them into buying tickets to WrestleMania because they thought it was in Chicago. Showed up
That's
weeks later, and they were for Toronto, Canada. I went to WrestleMania 8 in Indianapolis, and I went to WrestleMania 13 here in Chicago, which was the Hart Austin match, and I went to WrestleMania 17. Yeah, so like I happenstance to have been at like the most classic of WrestleMania somehow.
Yeah.
Like, and I did, and obviously, like, you don't know that that's sort of the most classic of WrestleManias when you go to them. You know, like when I told people I went to 17, people were like, oh. You know, and the only reason I went to 17 was my brother was having his first kid. And he was let's go to WrestleMania because it might be like the last time I get to go out of town for WrestleMania for a long time. And like, okay, let's go. We went and saw Austin Rock. You know what I mean? It's like, how sick is that?
Yeah.
But one of the craziest things I could think of actually was I actually took me and Sanford Parker, for those who are hip. He's a producer. He produced the Motherless record, the last Atlas, the most recent Atlas Moth, not the final by any means. Atlas Coma Noir, and he did Twilight with me. Me, him, and Scott Kelly from Neurosis went to an AEW show here at the Eagles Club in Berwyn, and just a local federation here, AAW. and it was right around Halloween, and they did a fucking bring your own weapons match.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, and I forgot who it was. I know it was Silas Young was in the match. I forgot who he was wrestling. But I remember like people brought some shit. Like some guy brought like a Mattel Roman Reigns glove. Someone put it on and he did the Superman punch with it, which I thought was fucking funny. Someone brought a pumpkin, a carved pumpkin, and he was like, "What was that?" And the guy kept being like, "Take it, take it, take it," and he wouldn't take it. And finally, we were on the other side of the ring for it. Finally, he took it. And the guy's like, "Look inside," and inside it was full of tacks. So he dumped it out, and he fucking did him, whatever. He knocked the guy, then he smashed the pumpkin over his head. I thought that was pretty funny. But then I can't really think of like an actual bizarre moment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I've been to a ton. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that one stuck out of my mind, being like, "Holy fuck, that was a wild scenario."
That's rad as fuck. I wouldn't have thought that's creative as fuck.
It was creative as fuck. I thought,
yeah.
It's also like a pumpkin. Look at this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, shit. I had to brain fart.
That's okay, darling. We all do that.
I'm waiting for the dream match question because I put some effort.
Well, shit. You know what? We should just let Stavros. Yeah, you've been doing everything else.
Hey, I'll set this up for you. I'll set this all up for you. Here we go. Check this out. I've been doing interviews like for the last 3 weeks. I'm so in interview mode. It's insane. So obviously we just talked about top fives and all that stuff and how hard it is. You asked me the top 5 wrestling. That sounds like the hardest thing in the world to do to me. Because for me, it's like you got to break it down by what? You got to break it down by era. You know what I mean? Because dude, you can't possibly compare someone who I think is great, like right now, like Roman Reigns. I think is at the top of his game. You can't compare him to a Dusty Rhodes. You know what I mean? It's totally different eras. They don't even mix.
Yeah.
And then you ask me a live or death what a dream match would be. Once again, I could think of 30. Then you ask me what would be a great, who would open a card and who would be a main eventer card. So what I did is I put all this together.
Hell yeah!
I gave you my dream WrestleMania.
I am down. My body is ready. Let's go.
Now, I don't think that this is in any sort of order except for my main event.
Okay, that's fine.
Now there is going to be a little bit of caveats to this. Okay.
All right. Okay.
I'm just going to read it from the top down. Okay.
Let's do it.
And there's going to be maybe 3 gimmick matches. Okay.
Okay.
So my first one I have down is a 13-ish AJ Styles Bullet Club NJPW version of him versus a world champion Bret Hart.
Ooh.
And that would be a sick, amazing, incredible match.
Yeah.
I'm talking like prime Bret. You know what I'm talking world champion Bret Hart versus Bullet Club NJPW world champion AJ Styles. Holy shit.
Ooh.
Now, my second match is the only tag team match. And it would be NWA Road Warriors versus tag team champion Demolition. And I know that happened technically, but it was Smash and Crush. I'm talking 80s Demolition, late 80s, early 90s Demolition. And I know it's happened. It's not that exciting because Demolition was basically Road Warriors light, but they're my 2 favorite tag teams. So
yeah.
A death match, perhaps a Texas death match. I'm open. Okay. Abdullah the Butcher versus John Moxley.
Ooh, that would be a bloody...
Now someone's getting hepatitis in that match.
I was gonna say, is that pre-hepatitis, Abdullah?
No, hell no. We're getting sick. You know what I mean?
Yes. All right. Yes.
All right. So now this is a match that we also had, but once again, it's a caveat match. Prime Ric Flair. I'm talking 80s Ric Flair versus late 80s, 88 to 91 prime Hulk Hogan. But now, I'm talking, so prime Flair heel versus pre us knowing what a piece of shit Terry Bollea is. American made. We don't know anything about fucking Hulk Hogan being a racist piece of shit. He is still just like the American fucking hero that we all loved. Hulk Hogan. Okay. Otherwise, we would exclude him from this card completely. Absolutely. But I also don't believe Terry Bollea ever existed anymore. There was just Hogan, who was all the hero I ever asked for. That's how I look at that. Sorry, don't be offended.
Oh no.
Now,
0 out of 10 unoffended.
0 out of 10 on Terry Bollea as a human being. So this I mentioned to you yesterday. I thought about 30 matches involving this man, Gunther, because I want him to face the world because he's the best wrestler ever. I want Gunther versus NJPW era Stan Hansen. And I want them to beat the shit out of each other for an hour. I want that to be an Iron Man match. Yeah. I think someone's going to die in that match.
Someone's going to die at this WrestleMania. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucking brutal
nobody's walking away unscathed at this.
Yeah, it's going to be nasty. This next one is a student versus teacher kind of scenario, and it's going to be Triple H versus Harley Race.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty into that one too, actually. Here's a match that was supposed to kind of happen, but Vince McMahon stopped it. And this is going to be, well, kind of, but different eras. I want Boyhood Dream era, World Champion Shawn Michaels versus, I'm going to go with Intercontinental Champion Macho Man Randy Savage. Slicker, faster, younger Randy Savage versus World Champion era Shawn Michaels. I think that would be a slick match.
Dude.
I think the egos, the story being told there would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know that Macho Man really wanted to work with Shawn, and I know that fucking Vince was like, "No, you're too old. You can't wrestle. Be a commentator." Thanks, Vince.
That's lame.
Now, this is a guy who is on my Mount Rushmore because he is an incredible wrestler that is, I think, the smartest in-ring person ever who makes the most logical things in the ring. I don't care what anybody says. His name is Samoa Joe.
Fuck yeah.
100% on my Mount Rushmore. Samoa Joe versus, once again, NJPW era Big Van Vader.
Yeah, right. I could totally see that because, I mean, he's definitely an agile dude like Vader was. Like
100%. I think those dudes would get down in that ring so fucking hard. I think it'd be amazing. You know, two big beefy dudes going for it. Another two of my absolute favorites of all time. And I'm just going to throw this out of the Hell in a Cell because it seems like it's this one guy's kind of forte, which is The Undertaker. Now, this Undertaker, I'm not quite sure where I want to put him. I'm thinking Purple Gloves Undertaker, even though I think my favorite is Gray Gloves Undertaker. But I'm going to go with Purple Gloves Undertaker because that seems to be the spookiest. Maybe Ministry of Darkness era, I'm not really sure, versus the Great Muta. Cool. Yeah. I'm looking for that moonsault. Oh, by the way, this Great Muta is definitely like anime hair, face paint, spinning green Miss Great Muta. I don't want old man Great Muta in the mask. I want, like, you know, right?
Yeah, of course.
He's one of my all-time favorites. I've included my top 3 all-time favorites, which are Muta, Hansen, and Smo Joe on here. Those are my 3. And Piper, which is my next one here. This is my main event. Roddy Piper's my all-time favorite. Yeah, and it's going to be Roddy Piper versus CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think that would be an incredible brawl. And you got 3 of the best ever on the mic. I think I got 3 guys that can tell a story. And I think it would just be like 3 guys brawling. And that would be my dream WrestleMania. I think that encompasses pretty much every one of my favorite wrestlers. I really can't think of anyone else really left out. You know, there's some other guys I really like and enjoy their work. I want to put a caveat in here. I didn't include any women. I think right now we are in the era of women's wrestling that rules.
I think so.
Yeah, Tony Storm. Like
Tony Storm.
Her whole character is so good. Like,
yeah, I think Asuka is like the best ever. I give props to Charlotte. I give props to Rhea Ripley. I give props to fucking Io Sky. I've been a huge fan of forever. I think Bianca Belair. I mean, there's tons. The women are fucking so good right now. But I don't think we've gotten to a point where I can really start doing dream matches. Also, I think I've seen a lot, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care to see Tony Storm versus anybody. Whoever it happens to be, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, nothing that I'm dying to see. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I went with my classics, you know, the Harley Race, the Stan Hansen, the Abdul the Butchers and all that, and like a prime Bret Hart kind of thing versus like kind of guys that I'm thinking like or things that we missed, like that pretty much encapsulate all my favorites, like my Mountain Mushmore would be like depending on era, like a Austin, a Piper, Stan Hansen, a Samoa Joe, somewhere in that area, a Race, a Vader, but yeah, that was my WrestleMania. I thought it'd be a pretty hard hitting one.
Dude, that was amazing picks, dude. Like for sure.
I stayed up way later than I wanted to last night.
Oh, bro.
I was sitting there, just like laying in my bed, like, oh man. I was like, no.
We really wanted some thought-provoking stuff really get you to,
that was the most homework I put into a fucking interview. Lifetime.
I feel
that was it. I was like, man, I can't wait.
Other than, I mean, I'm sure you probably consider this one of the most like punk rock metal things that's ever happened in wrestling. The pipe bomb promo.
Right.
You were at, right?
I was.
That's fucking dope.
Like I said, dude, I was at the Jericho, when Jericho, when he showed up.
That's
Y2J.
Yeah, I was at the countdown. Like it's weird how many fucking things with wrestling that I've actually been at. Like it's just odd, like
dude, it's like Chicago being like the middle of the country is just like everybody, like all the big promotions come there, and like AWA and stuff, like up in Minnesota, like so it's always been kind of like a hub for wrestling. So
yeah, and like in the All-State Arena now, but the Rosemont Horizon, what it was called, I mean that's like I said, I was at 13, which was the Austin Hart.
Oh, Rosemont Horizon for tickets.
Yeah, exactly. God, my entire life right there,
Dude, didn't you DJ like something for Thrill Kill Cult one time?
I did DJ with Curse Mackey.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So I lived in Austin for a while, and I got to know Curse a little bit.
Oh no, shit! Right on.
Yeah,
we DJ'd in the back of a Volkswagen together.
Yeah. It was like some crazy ass shit. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was like in an alley for an.
I knew it was in an alley. I could.
Yeah, that popped up on my memories the other day, and it's like me and Curse like in the back of like a modded out Volkswagen.
Oh my god!
An alley at an art gallery. It's like, and I remember like the caption was like, "Sometimes you got a DJ in the back of a Volkswagen in an alley at an art gallery," or something. That's like something stupid.
Yeah. I remember that. I was like, "Fuck yeah, you do."
Like, what is my life like? What's going on right now?
Right.
So it pops up in my feed all the time. I'm like, "Oh, Curse. That's right. Cool." Like.
So to like lean more into the music stuff, what was it like doing the fucking Twilight album, dude? Like,
man, so like
I mean, I want to hear like all the gritty stories, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, so like the cool one, the first one was like it was like I recorded that one before the first Atlas Moth record came out, so like it was kind of funny because like I had just met like all those guys pretty much. I was hanging out with Blake a lot. And Blake, as much as you could talk shit about Blake, I'll tell you this: like he was very, he believed in me a lot, and he definitely like helped me out, and he wanted to help me out. You know what I mean? And like it was cool because like it definitely like introduced me to a lot of people that I'm still very close friends with, like Sanford and Jeff and Neil. But I'll tell you this: that like, and no shade on Aaron Turner by any means, but Aaron did a lot of stuff for that record. And he wasn't there. He did it all remotely. And he sent in tracks. And I'm not going to fucking throw anybody under the bus. But there were certain individuals, without naming names, that were like very against him being a part of it because he wasn't there. And they thought that Blake was trying to just get a name on the record, which like he kind of was. And
well, of course,
like, that's kind of what you do. He was being smart, like marketing wise, like Aaron Turner from ISIS is a big name. So like, why not put a big name on it? You know what I mean? Like, of course, it helps everything. Right. And Aaron Turner did some really cool shit, but I would say all but two things made it to the record. You know what I mean? And I wound up pretty much playing all, like, I would say 90% of the guitars on that record, 80% of the guitars on that record. Yeah, and the funny thing is that Aaron played no guitars on that record, except I think maybe like one lead. And he did some, like, there were a couple of vocal spots that made it, or one, I think, maybe. It's been a long time. And in all the reviews, they were like, Aaron Turner's return to form. Aaron Turner's like, and I was like, motherfucker, you know, like, I wrote it, you know, like, all the Aaron Turner stuff was definitely me, you know what I mean, like, for sure, because I mean, like, obviously the early Atlas Moth stuff was very ISIS-y, you know, like, it was, I was doing that shit in my bands before that, you know what I mean, like, I was all about the ISIS stuff, you know what I mean, so that was a bummer, but it was cool, you know, and like, it became, you know, it made me and Sanford kind of like lifelong, you know, friends, you know, and like, I loved working on that. And then the second, it was funny because the studio that we recorded at, Sanford Studio, the one guy there, I think his name was Jeremy. Maybe it was Jeremy Lemos. Maybe I think was his name. I forget. That might be wrong. Don't quote me, I guess. But he was the other engineer there, and he was the sound guy for Sonic Youth.
Oh.
And he was joking. He goes, "Oh, you guys are doing this black metal record. You know who really likes black metal is Thurston Moore." And we were joking. We were like, "Oh, why don't you send him a copy of this? Tell him that he can be on the next one." Literally a joke. Straight up joking. Like, just us being total jerk-offs. And he goes, "Oh, I totally will." And then, like, you know, like, fucking Sanford a few months later, he goes, "Yeah, so, like, Jeremy sent him," if the guy's name is Jeremy. He's like, "Jeremy sent him the record." And he's like, "Yeah, he'll do it." And we were all like, what?
What do you mean?
What's another Twilight record, I guess, you know, like, so.
The guy that wrote 100%, like, really? Like,
yeah, we were like, wait, what? You know, like, so I'll be the first to admit that the second Twilight record I was on, the third overall, was most definitely us being like, let's write a record with Thurston Moore. And that was really, you know, we all wanted to do another one together because we all were such close friends at the time. And that was also unfortunate when Blake was starting to really get into heroin. And that didn't really do anything at all, you know. So not only was it like a bunch of guys that really liked hanging out with each other, but then it was also a guy that we all liked that was now deteriorating and didn't like. And, you know, in later years nowadays, I've actually like reconciled with Blake and he's doing great. And I love that. And
that's awesome.
I'm happy. I'm really happy for him that he's doing great. He seems to be doing really wonderful with a wonderful woman out in California. So that's great. You know, really happy for him.
Same here.
So that's the story, you know, and that's the thing, man. You know, so like, but it was really cool to write a record with Thurston Moore. Yeah, it's kind of funny too, like, because unfortunately, somehow or another, like, if you get the CD version of that record, my name's on it, and I did the artwork for it, the layout, and I sent it to him, and I only did one layout, and somehow or another, whoever adapted it for the vinyl cut my name out of it.
Oh, what?
It's fucked up because the way I laid it out was all of us like this stacked, and I put my name in the middle, so it did a pyramid.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that happened. It's not like I was at the bottom or the top, but my name's cut out of the vinyl. So like it's been a point. So people are like, "Oh yeah, you're not on that record." I'm like, "Fuck you, yes I am."
No, I'm totally on that.
I'm playing with Thurston Moore, suck my entire ass.
Yeah, so like those Twilight records, unfortunately for me, have been like constantly been like, "Oh, well, you didn't do anything." It's like, fuck, what the fuck? Yes, God damn it, yes they did. And of course, they couldn't cut me out of the CD. They cut me out of the vinyl. You know, like that everyone bought. You know, but whatever.
Dude, I know that you definitely contributed a lot to those records. So fuck everybody else.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know. Oh well.
Hey, if Thurston Moore wants to come talk about wrestling and horror movies with me, then he could say something about it.
I'll tell you this. I don't think that anybody in Twilight, and maybe I'm a little bit speaking out. I don't think anyone really is a fan of Sonic Youth. I know, like, I'm like maybe was the most because I'm a '90s kid and like I love fucking grunge, but even I was only a fringe fan of Sonic Youth. I didn't really get it.
So like not even Jeff. Like I figured he would.
Jeff maybe the most, maybe. Yeah. You know, and like it was funny because when he showed up, you could tell like everyone was like either like a little bit like not necessarily starstruck, but definitely like a little bit standoffish, maybe even. Yeah. Trying to like asking him questions, you know, like. So like you know, and I like literally was like, hey,
what was it like, you know, being best friends with Nirvana?
yeah. And I was like, hey man, how'd you get on The Simpsons? Like, that was my first question. And he goes, oh man, I grew up in the Village with Matt Groening, and I was like, what? He goes, yeah, I just had dinner with him in Paris last week, and I was like,
the fuck?
yeah, and I was like, dude, like that's cooler than any record you ever fucking did, you know? Like, that shit's American. That's apple pie shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, like if you grew up in the 80s or 90s, like, and you don't like The Simpsons, you're fucking there's something seriously wrong with you.
I assume that you don't have a reflection when you look in a mirror. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, what's wrong with you? You know, like, did you not own that? Like, you know, my name is Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you? T-shirt.
Exactly.
You know, like,
we were just talking about the Sings the Blues cassette tape.
Yeah.
And like Happy Birthday, Lisa, and Do the Bartman.
Dude, what the fuck? Or like playing that arcade game, dude, in the 90s.
Oh, dude.
Come on.
One of the biggest arcade games ever. Like,
yes.
It's like Ninja Turtles, that, Avengers, X-Men.
And it was like the exact same
Mortal
game.
Kombat. Like,
they were all the same game except for Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? But like the Simpsons game is the same thing as the Ninja Turtles game. It's the same fucking side scroll. You know what I mean? They probably just like swapped like little fucking
straight
yeah, exactly.
To where
that was my question for Thurston, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Also, like, it was cool because like he was like, I was the only guy with a car, so he was like, yeah, let's go. You, man, like we met him up at this place called Bullhead Cantina, which had like what I like to call white people tacos. You know, it was like
bland,
cabbage, you know, and like
God, hipster tacos. Those are hipster tacos.
Hipster tacos, yeah. And I was like, oh, this will be funny, you know. Like, so we like he was always like, let's go there, man. They had good margaritas. So like I would drive Thurston like to go get tacos and margaritas, and then he'd be like, let's go to a record store. I'm like, all right, you know, I'm like, I knew where everything was. So, like me and I would like just take Thurston around, and it was awesome because everywhere we went, they'd be like, hey man, bill's on us, you know. We're like, we got you a discount. I'm like, oh, yeah. You know,
just putting your stuff in a stack. Like,
you want to go buy some action figures with me, Thurston? What do you think? You know, like it was awesome. Let's go to the comic book store, Thurston. Right? You like comic books, right? Let's go there.
Come on.
Yeah, you want to go to this, like fucking this t-shirt store? I could really use some new jeans or some shit. I don't know. It was fucking hilarious. Like everywhere he went was like, it was funny because I always like he was also like I explained to me, he's like if Spicoli grew up and he had a budget. You know, like,
yeah, right.
Like,
then he actually bought the plane and got Van Halen.
Straight up, yeah, exactly. He actually bought the plane and he went out to it.
It was just like he resurrected Mayhem.
100%, yeah. And like, so it's fucking hilarious. We would like, you know, go to record stores and be like, oh, we got you guys on a discount. I'm like, yes.
Fuck yeah.
You know? He's an awesome dude, though, man. Like every time I see him, like I never know if he's joking or not. Last time I saw him, he played Riot Fest. I was backstage or whatever in catering, and I was like, Thurston, what's up? He goes, hey, what's up, bro? And he's like, did that record review ever come out? And I was like, what? Like Rolling Stone said we killed black metal. Like, what? I'm like, are you joking? You know, I hope you aren't joking. I don't know. So, but yeah, he's cool. That's a Twilight in a nutshell. You know, like there's some albums that like for sure like I've always chased, like trying to get close to. And one of them, it's always a shocker when I bring it up because no one expects me to be such a huge fan of it. But it's Delouse and the Comatorium by the Mars Volta is like my all-time favorite record of ever.
Dude, that first song was I had a CD player alarm clock, and when it first came out, that first song, that was my wake up every morning to go to my shitty like fucking restaurant job.
Yeah, dude, that was like that album is just so important to me, and it's never aged. It's just still perfect, you know.
Yeah.
Another one is like, and like this is actually almost like kind of a part. It's like a two-parter. It's because it's kind of like my favorite Deftones record was always White Pony, and it's also kind of like now shared with Diamond Eyes. I think both of those records are perfect.
They're
and they're kind of like a part one and a part two of a career for me. You know, I think those are fucking awesome. You know, I think that like overall, too, I think like as a career, Metallica, just in general, right? Like you said, overall, not just albums, right? Like people talk about them selling out, right? But like I think that they did like the most bold move ever with Load, which was like be like, you know, we're gonna do whatever we want. Because I think the sellout move would have been to make another Black album. And what they did was do something completely different, which I think was make a Corrosion and Conformity record.
Yeah,
Which I'm a huge Corrosion and Conformity fan. So it's like, especially the Pepper years, I actually am that guy where everyone like likes to be cool and say that they're really into the hardcore COC, which I don't believe.
No, it's the Pepper stuff.
Yeah, like I know that older dudes are really into that, but there's like these like guys my age, like, oh, I like the hardcore COC. I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, because I grew up on MTV and I saw Albatross.
Kiss my ass, clean my wounds.
Yeah, my wounds, dude. Like I saw that shit and I was hooked. I remember my sister bought Blind, and I was like, this album, I don't like it at all, except for this track, Vote with the Bullet. Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, this is awesome. Like, why does it sound so much better than the other songs? You know, I think that's cool, and I think that like, and dude, here, fucking revisionist history on some people, but like, fucking Lars was right the entire fucking time with Napster. I don't care what anybody says. Like, fucking, he was like a guy that just didn't. He just wanted control over his art. And guess what? Like, you know what? Like, artists should be paid for their fucking music. And now everyone says that shit. And now all these people want to fucking be like, oh, I want to buy your record and support you. Where the fuck was that in the early 2000s? And guess what? I understand that the music industry gouged us. And like we were talking about when we very first started talking today, it was like CDs were $30 almost at some point, you know, at one point or another. And like they were trying to combat it by like, I remember Best Buy was trying to get like indie artists CDs right away, and they were like $7.99. I remember like a big one was that first Goldfinger record was $5.99, and everyone I knew fucking bought it. You know what I mean? Like when it first came out, because it was $5.99. That's the only reason all my friends bought it. Like none of us.
I got a bunch of Victory Records stuff like that from Best Buy. Like I got like Integrity Season to the Size of Days.
Yeah, like, they were doing that shit, and they were smart to fucking do it. You know what I mean? Because like it was at least getting it in the hands of kids. You know what I mean? And maybe fucking record labels weren't that fucking greedy. And if they didn't fucking do it and destroy their entire industry, you know, maybe that would have been a smart thing to fucking do. You know what I mean? But like, you know, here we are.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sitting here like, you know, and now it went from, I remember a couple of years ago, my buddy Nate Carson from Witch Mountain, who was also a booking agent. He did awesome. Nate's great. He did I think it was an article for Vice. This is probably 15 years ago now, 12 years ago. He did an article for Vice, and it was like, you know, like there's a new kind of person. There's no rock star. You don't aspire to be a rock star anymore. You aspire to be a blue collar musician, because all we want to be able to do is go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's crazy, right? You know, that's all I would love to do. I would love to be able to be like, oh yeah, all I do is go on tour. And you know, like, it's hard. There's really not that out there. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of like, all I do is just go to a fucking tour. There's every guy in the band I know goes on tour, and you know, some of us can make a good amount of money, and I make a decent, you know, amount of money sometimes, and sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? And we all come home, we all look for work, or we all run our own business, or we all do a billion fucking things when we're home. So we go out and do that, and it becomes increasingly harder and harder. And when people sit there and talk about like shit like that, it's, you know, you guys all should have fucking been on Lars's side as opposed to being fucking stealing people's fucking music, you know, unfortunately. So yeah, you know, I think, and nowadays when you look at Metallica now, like everyone's like, oh, they're great. The greatest of all time. You know, yeah, they are, maybe. You know, they're the biggest metal band of all time. You know,
definitely.
I respect that shit. I think so. I think Metallica as a whole, like, they've been there for their fans, you know, and like, they, you know, I mean, in this day and age too, like when you have like Oasis selling $1,000 tickets, Metallica tickets are still only $200.
Blink-182 selling $1,000 tickets, like
you can get snake tickets for Metallica for $250. I think that's pretty reasonable. You know what I mean? Like fucking, I think that, and you know, I gotta respect that too. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I think that's awesome. You know, like, so yeah, I mean that's a big thing. You know, the artwork of Jack Kirby, I think it's great. The original 1960s artwork of Jack Kirby, and also EC Comics, the original Tales from the Crypt artwork is a big influence on everything in my life. You know, all that kind of shit. Yeah, those are the things that pop into my head.
Hell yeah.
The music of John Carpenter and his filmmaking. It's always a huge fucking art, a huge, you know,
we're a household of Carpenter fans over here.
You know, like, that like the blend of camp and seriousness and fun that's involved in his films and his music. I think that's great. I think that all that kind of stuff is really encapsulating, you know.
Okay. Speaking of John Carpenter and pro wrestling, what are some of your favorite movies that have pro wrestlers in them or movies about pro wrestling?
Body Slam.
Dude, I was just talking about that to her.
You know, it stars Rowdy Piper.
A-Team.
Yeah, it stars Rowdy Piper too as well. He's in that, so I got to go with that. And They Live, obviously, has the best fight scene with him and Keith David. Come on, okay.
The best fight scene in a movie ever.
Ever.
Other than Old Boy, the hammer fight.
Yeah, other than Old Boy, of course, which is like top 5 for me. I think Roadhouse fucking sucks, but it does have Terry Funk in it. So I'll give that a thing. Escape from New York has Ox Baker in it, which is sick.
Yes.
I always forget about that.
Yeah, never forget about that. I just watched the new Naked Gun, which has Cody and the new Naked Gun has Cody and Batista in it, and it was brilliant. I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
That's definitely on our list.
Yeah, it's really. I didn't think anybody could fit into to Leslie Nielsen's shoes, but Liam Neeson, obviously his son. Right.
Yep.
So really fit into those shoes. I'm really excited about the Street Fighter movie.
Oh, dude,
yes.
I
have hopes for it.
It seems just like it's going to be so
unhinged.
Yeah.
So like I saw 50 Cent as Balrog, and he looks awesome. And then I saw a picture of Cody Rhodes' shadow, and his hair looks just like Giles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this movie going to be? And then I noticed that the director is the director of the Eric Andre show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second. Like, is this going to be cheesy as balls? Because if it is, like, I think I'm in. Like, I hope it's like, I want it, in my perfect world, I think Street Fighter should be directed by Quentin Tarantino, and it should be like Kill Bill. You know what I mean? Like a 70s kung fu film. You know what I mean? Like, I think it'd be awesome. You know what I mean? But like, I think it's gonna be close. You know, like if it's stupid and kind of cheeseball and over the top, I think it might be great. So I'm pretty excited about that. Well, off the top of my head, I guess They Live would probably be the best thing to feature a wrestler, right? Or anything with Cena and Batista. God, what is that movie Batista did a couple years back? It's about like it's about like the future where the fucking militia take over America.
Like
it's literally about like what's going to happen in like a year. Probably.
I think it's like named after like some neighborhood in New York City.
Flatbush, maybe. Is that
Bushwick?
it?
Yeah, maybe it's
Bushwick.
Bushwick.
Bushwick. Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I love that shit. Really good.
Now it's really scary because I think it's like about to happen. But I think we're on the precipice.
I'm glad y'all don't have the fucking National Guard like rolling up on y'all yet. So
yeah, right. Come on in.
That.
Come on into the rack. I double dare you, President.
Scribble dog
into the old Cabrini Green, and
I believe that President Trump could end the gang violence here because what he is going to do is align every gang together against him. So good luck.
Right.
You're gonna fuck up a real bad situation for everybody involved. So like, luckily I live on the north side. So fucking
that is
Jesus, south side. That shit's not gonna fucking exist anymore. Fucking
we can cut all this out if you want us to. So
no, I'm very anti-Trump and I'm very fucking vocal about it. I don't make any of that shit. I don't think anybody should be mourning Charlie Kirk either.
Fuck that guy, dude. Seriously. And his wife's like, I'm gonna carry on his legacy. The legacy of hating women?
Being a bigot? Cool, have fun.
Yeah.
I also find it kind of ironic, all these guys in misfit shirts that have a real problem with him getting shot. It's like, did you guys ever like see that Bullet cover?
Right?
Ride, Charlie, ride.
Yeah, everyone's being a hypocrite nowadays, and I just don't understand it. So
I don't either.
I'm from a big city, though. I'm friends with a bunch of gay people. I'm friends with black people. I'm friends with Mexican people. I'm friends with fucking trans people, and I care about them. So you know what?
Exactly.
Caring about people, and I have friends of all kinds of sexes, genders, races, all kinds. So like,
Yeah, the only people that should be hated are absolute fucking assholes.
And
That's,
Nazis.
yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck
Nazi.
Nazis.
No, I mean that's
Yes,
hating
I know.
I come from a childhood.
assholes and or Nazis.
One of my heroes is Indiana Jones, so I like learned early
Fuck
early
yeah.
to punch Nazis. So like, I don't understand where we're at nowadays, and I just really hope that we have an election in 3 years. That's all I really care about at this point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's just so scary.
I was hoping that we survive 3 years and there's an election in those 3 years. That's all I care about.
Dude, like dystopian fiction was not like a go-to god. It was supposed to like no, this is not what we're supposed to do. This is the fucked up thing.
Yeah, I know. Like I really thought we were getting better, and that's the only thing I think is this progression right now, and I'm really upsetting because like, and especially a guy that's like fucking basically uninsurable because of fucking pre-existing conditions. It's like, yo, I need my Medicaid, man. What the fuck, dude?
Right?
You know, like my retirement plan is to die as is. Like, you know what I mean? So like, this isn't really looking great for a guy like me, you know. So, and you know, I don't know. I just care about people. I guess I really actually dislike people, but I'm a humanitarian. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's a dichotomy with myself, but still, you know.
Yeah.
Luckily, I live in Chicago. You know,
Yeah.
it's very blue here.
Yeah, it's like, dude, don't hate anybody because whatever their gender, like sexual orientation, like race, any of that. It's just like, you know, for the most part, like people are garbage. Humanity can be really good sometimes, but yeah, like just don't do that. Like
the day that I hate somebody for what they do in their bedroom is the day I have too much time on my hands. I really don't.
Yes.
So you know what I mean? Like I really just
like don't worry about other people's genitals, like
or what they do with
them. I personally really don't want to ever think about anybody else's genitals. You know
right?
Right?
I
don't want to think about mine either. You know what I mean? Like please keep my fucking bits and pieces out of your mind because that's too fucking worrisome for me. I don't really want anybody thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like please don't sexualize me. I'm gross. You know, like, you know, I really don't like that. No. So that's my take.
That was amazing. That was a beautiful answer to our question. Absolutely. I dig it. Fuck yes. Well, what else do you have going on? What kind of shameless plugs do you want to kind of do as we wrap things up?
Yeah, shameless plugs. So I have a record out. It's called Do You Feel Safe? It's by my band called Motherless. Next year, we're gonna be playing some dates here. We have a show here in Chicago with Wake from our Little Rock, Arkansas coming up. It's gonna be a
Double J, that's my boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We got some dates coming up too around the Midwest, and then we're gonna be doing some touring next year. That's kind of TBA. Atlas Moth next year. We have a 15th anniversary of An Ache for the Distance, and we're going to be touring on that record as much as we can and doing festivals. We're playing that in full, record in full. We're really excited about doing that, and we're going to write a new Atlas Moth record probably the end of next year and try to record that in 27. Hopefully have it out by the end of the year, if not 28, which will be 10 years from our last record. So it's kind of exciting, but I'm excited to make sure everyone knows that we're still a band. We're still writing in the second Motherless record, so that's coming too. I'm like basically the busiest man on the planet when it comes to this writing music right now. Forever Death Fest, which is a festival I'm doing here in Chicago, is April 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Sweet.
We're going to be announcing that within the next month.
Hell yeah.
Fucking crazy ass lineup that I'm really excited about.
Hell yeah.
Except I have to book a headliner for Friday right now. That's besides the point. Atlas Moth's got some touring. Motherless has got some touring. I have a comic book out called Coma Noir. It's through Blind Cyclops Publishing. Blind Cyclops Books on Instagram. Check that out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Motherless Chicago at Bandcamp. That's where you can get the Motherless record. It's the only place to get a physical copy of it. Okay. All of that money goes to the band.
Sweet.
Not our record label. And that's all I'll say.
Hell yeah.
And we have a video out too for Reptile Dysfunction. You can check it out on YouTube.
Yes. Which is so good.
It's all my things. It's all my things.
Sweet. Well, hell yeah.
All right. Well, fucking awesome, dude. Like, we really appreciate you coming out.
I was happy to be on here, man. Thank you for talking to both of you. You guys are great.
Yes.
Yeah, this definitely went in so many directions we didn't really plan on, but it's awesome.
How it goes.
That's what we're here for, man. We're here to just talk shit with our friends and have a good time. That's
what
it.
that's what I'm always down for. So there you go.
Fuck yeah.
And you know, if you guys ever come out to Northern California, hit us up.
I'm always trying to get out to California. It's always just such a hike, you know, and like nowadays, with touring, you know, it's just so many of us, you know, like the Atlas Moth, because of our hiatus, we splintered into 2 bands, and like we also like to keep Atlas Moth stuff special.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like we don't like to do stuff that's just like, let's just go on tour for the fuck of it, like we used to do, like idiots. We'd be like, oh, nothing. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. Let's go on tour for 7 fucking weeks and throw away our fucking lives. It's like all of us kind of like our lives.
right?
Back when we were like 24, all of us had like shit lives. We were like, let's get the fuck out of here and like go on tour forever, you know? And now we're like, man, we have businesses and wives and dogs that we like love, you know? Like stay home for a while, you know? So now that we love touring and we love playing, that's what we all do. Literally, we are so, everyone in both of my bands, all of our 3 of the bands that make up Atlas Moth Incorporated, Black Cross Hotel is the other one. We all love playing live music, and that's all we are all about. You know what I mean? But like, dude, touring's tough. You know,
it's a road dog in your 40s is it's not the best fit. It's just like, I can't.
It's not like it was back when I was a kid, and it was like, hell yeah, I'll sleep on this fucking floor. Like, I love this. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I could be fucking next to my like really hot girlfriend and our dogs.
Exactly.
And she is a
which one am I going to choose?
Yeah. It's like, listen, there's something to say about being my best friends playing music. That is one of my favorite things. And versus my girlfriend and my dogs, it is sometimes a tough choice. But, you know, like, we do get hotel rooms. So, you know, like,
what's that, you know?
Nuts, but, like, you know, like, I like being more, I like making things special nowadays. I like making things a little bit more calculated, you know, and also Atlas Moth is goddamn, I put in my goddamn hours, man.
Yeah,
dude.
Like, fuck you, dude. I do good tours. So, like, you'll see me when you see me and it'll be worth it. There was a point where we were in Brooklyn one time. I remember we counted, it was something like 9 times in a year. And I think, dude, if I played Brooklyn 9 fucking times, we were like noticing it. We had friends be like, oh yeah, man, you're gonna be back here in 2 months with a cooler band, so I'll see you then. You know, it's like, fuck you, man. You know what I mean? Like,
right? What the fuck?
Like, you'll be back here with a band that's better the next time. So, like, I like your band enough, but like, I don't like the band you're touring with, so I'll see you in 2 months. It's like, I can't blame you if you have to buy the ticket. You know what I mean? So, like, now it's like, you know, like, I think we're starting to work on a tour in May of next year with Atlas Moth that should be fucking epic as fuck.
Well, we're keeping that shit like a secret, dude. Thank you for
giving us
spilling the beans.
Well, yes. Well, we will not keep you for any longer.
I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
You're the awesome homie, man. Like, appreciate your time out now that you have to do all this other stuff. So,
story of my fucking life.
What you got to do? Come back for a part 2 whenever you want.
You guys let me know whenever you want me.
Okay, we'll do. All right, thank you.
Good night, dude.
Bye, y'all.
Good day.
Bye.